Manchester United in talks for emergency free centre-back signing. Juventus apparently inquire over a potential deal for Harry Maguire. And what is going on with Sander Berge? These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this afternoon's show. But before we get into that, please do me a small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 1,000 likes on this episode. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. We're just about to hit 36k subscribers. So if this is your first time watching, please do get involved. Everyone is welcome. Right. I want to start off by talking a little bit about Mazraoui and Wan-Bissaka because we have been provided an update in the last couple of minutes from Samuel Luckhurst at Manchester Evening News. And he is reporting that apparently Wan-Bissaka's representatives remain in talks with Manchester United over the terms of his exit. Now, we spoke about this a little bit yesterday, and apparently Wan-Bissaka is asking for £7 million in order to leave the club this summer. This obviously then turned into mass outrage from the Manchester United fan base saying, how can he do this? It's disgusting. He's already paid crazy money and he's asking for more. But when you actually find out the truth of this situation, apparently the Glazers, John Murtagh, Richard Arnold, Ed Woodward, they included into players' contracts that if a player's contract is extended, the option is triggered by the club that the player can then receive 50% of any future sale. So this is exactly what's happened with Wan-Bissaka. This time last year, he was available for free. He could have gone, but Manchester United triggered his 1-year extension, which meant that if we sell him now, he'll get 50% of the fee. The fee being £14 million plus add-ons to West Ham. That was the agreed fee. So he's legally entitled to it. And I think, if we take off our red tinted glasses and we look at it for what it is, if you were in Wan-Bissaka's shoes, you'd do the same thing. You're legally entitled to that money. Of course you're going to take it. Why would you not? £7 million is life-changing money. And I thought earlier on today that there's a similar problem we have with McTominay because McTominay is going into the final year of his contract, right? And we have the same option where we can extend it for 1 extra year. But what I'm getting at here is, if we don't sell McTominay now, if we try and sell him next summer, we would only get half of the fee and McTominay would get the other half. So in the sense of McTominay, you really need to sell him now. Otherwise, 1, you lose him for free next summer. 2, you trigger the option to extend, but then you can't really sell him because otherwise you don't get the money. Or 3, you give him a new contract. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation. And I hope and pray that this is something that Ineos don't include in contracts going forward. But obviously we'll wait and see what Ineos have planned. I would be very, very surprised if they keep doing this because it's clearly not worked so far and it's clearly shooting us in the foot right now with Wan-Bissaka saying, I want my 7 million. I'm entitled to it. And I can't really blame him. But that's the latest on that. And then in relation to Mazraoui, Samuel Luckhurst has said that Manchester United are still trying to sign Mazraoui, but they need Wan-Bissaka gone first. So very, very frustrating. But there's not really too much we can do about it until obviously Wan-Bissaka agrees terms of his exit. Samuel Luckhurst has also been talking about signings. And apparently Manchester United are going to sign at least 3 more players before the window ends. The window ends 3 weeks today. Now, I want you to let me know in the comment section, who should we sign? What positions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As Samuel has said, we're going to go for at least 3 more players. Now, I know that maybe doesn't seem believable at the moment because people are like, we haven't signed anyone for 2 weeks. What the hell's going on? I get it. But a lot of business will happen in the final weeks of the window. It always does. A lot of clubs wait until later in the window because teams are usually more willing to negotiate, and it means that they don't have to pay they don't have to pay wages for these new signings throughout the whole summer. Like, for example, if we signed De Ligt 10 weeks ago, we would have had to pay his 200k a week wages for 10 weeks, and he would have only started training like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, because obviously he was involved in the Euros, and FIFA rules say that a player has to have at least 3 weeks off every summer from the point of when they were last involved in a game. So I can understand why they're kind of waiting, but we desperately do need to make signings. Now, in relation to 3 players, obviously I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Who should we go for? I think we need 2 defenders. So I'm going Mazraoui and I'm going for, I'd say De Ligt, but obviously with all this situation and the police investigation into a potential hit and run, I don't know. That probably then becomes a bit of a problem. So definitely Mazraoui. Midfielder, I'm going with Sander Berge just because I think he's the best option at the moment based on the money we have and based on who's available. And I would probably go with Oh, it's really hard. Tapsoba, maybe. Antonio Silva, maybe. Yeah, I don't know on the third player at the moment. Obviously, De Ligt was the favourite to come in, but at the moment, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, yeah, I'm going with 2 defenders and a midfielder. That's my kind of priority. And if Jadon Sancho leaves, I would obviously get an attacking player as well, because I think if Jadon Sancho goes, we will need to strengthen in that area. But you can let me know in the comment section, what 3 players should Manchester United sign? Obviously, be realistic. We can't get Manuel Ugarte, Zubimendi and Osimhen because we don't have the money. So based on the players that we're linked to, let me know. Moving on from that, though, I want to jump on over to Harry Maguire. So this story broke this morning from Corriere dello Sport, which is an Italian newspaper. And they are reporting this morning that apparently Juventus are monitoring the situation of Harry Maguire at Manchester United. It says they are planning on switching their attention to Maguire after they failed to land Jean-Claire Todibo. Now, for anybody who's unaware, Juventus were literally nailed on to sign Todibo. They'd confirmed the deal. Personal terms were agreed. He wanted to go to Juventus. And then literally at the last minute, West Ham came in and hijacked the deal. This happened literally within the last 24 hours. So Jean-Claire Todibo is now going to West Ham. Juventus are now without the centre-back that they thought they were getting and are now desperately looking to sign a centre-back. And apparently a name that's come up today is Harry Maguire. I'll be honest with you, I think Harry Maguire would do very, very well in Italian football. It's not as fast-paced as the Premier League. I think he'd go there and I think he'd actually do really well. So if that is a genuine option, I think Harry Maguire to Juventus would be a great move. He's another player with only 1 year left of his contract. So if we don't sell him now, he's going to leave next year for free anyway. I know at the moment it feels hard to contemplate letting defenders go when we're in the position we are. But I think if you let Maguire go, you can go and sign a Trevor Chalobah, or you can go and sign a David Hanko, or somebody else in that kind of £20 million market. So, yeah, if Juventus are genuinely interested in Maguire, which apparently they are, obviously their Todibo deal having fallen through, I think Manchester United have to try and get this one over the line. There's plenty of time left of the window for this deal to happen, 3 weeks to go. Whether or not Maguire would want to go to Juventus, I don't know. I can't really see it personally. I feel like he's the kind of guy who'd want to stay in England, but that's just my opinion. I don't know him personally, but just from, hearing him speak and stuff, I feel like he will want to stay at Manchester United and prove himself. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Obviously, Harry Maguire to Juventus. I think transfer fee wise, you'd be lucky to get probably 10 to 20 million, I think, pounds. 31 years of age and with only a year left of his contract. But he is on massive wages, around 200 grand a week. So letting him go would save you probably around 10 to 12 million pounds in wages next season, which is obviously a huge difference. So yeah, you can let me know your thoughts on that. How much is Harry Maguire worth? Do you think that would be a good deal for Juventus? And yeah, who would you replace Maguire with? You can let me know your thoughts on all of that. And then moving on from that, I want to jump on over to some breaking news that's just come out in the last couple of minutes, that apparently Manchester United are in talks to sign Mario Hermoso, 29 years of age. Apparently he has been offered a 3-year contract by Manchester United and he is asking for €6 million a season. I mean, that sounds like a hell of a lot. €6 million net. So that would probably be about €9 million before tax. So let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound right to me. He's effectively asking for about 180 grand a week before tax. He was at Atletico Madrid last season. They let him go. He is a left-sided centre-back. He's left-footed. He can also play at left-back. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really seen that much of him to be able to give you a full review of him. But the fact that he's left Atletico Madrid and the fact that they didn't give him a new contract and the fact that nobody's really been linked to him doesn't really fill me with much confidence. But at the same time, if you look at his stats, he played all of their Champions League games last season. He played 31 times in La Liga. So, he was a first choice option for Atletico Madrid last season. So I don't really know why he left. If anybody knows in the comment section, you can obviously let me know. But maybe it's his injuries. I don't know. I'm going to have a quick look. Let's have a look. Is it his injuries that have made him go? No, he only missed 3 games through injury last season. And then the last time he was injured was in 2020 and he missed 3 games. So he's not injury prone. Maybe Atletico Madrid just, wanted to move him on and wanted to get in a younger option. we don't know the full extent of the situation. But apparently Manchester United are in talks to sign him. He's a free agent, so it wouldn't cost any money. He was on big wages at Atletico Madrid, to be fair. He was on 175 grand a week at Atletico Madrid. He was one of their highest earning players. So he must be decent then. And apparently it was that the story that I'm reading here is that apparently he asked for a new contract at Atletico Madrid on bigger wages, and Atletico refused to give it to him, and then he effectively said, I'm going, because his contract expired. So that's why, I mean, if we get desperate, then I think he could be an interesting option. 29 years of age, obviously very experienced. I think he has played for the Spanish national team as well, but I still think we should be looking for probably some better options than this, to be honest. Like, this feels like a real, like, desperate plan B option. It doesn't feel like it's like a first choice, but maybe I'm wrong. He's played 5 times for Spain, so not that much for a 29-year-old, really. For me, this is like a plan D, a plan E. Like, this is literally scraping the barrel. But if that's where we are and that's what we have to do, then we need players. We need bodies through the door, because at the moment, the only 3 defenders who are available for the game against Man City tomorrow are Dalot, Martinez and Johnny Evans. Everyone else is injured. Obviously, you've got Harry Amas, but he's still very young. And I'm not... Maybe Harry Amas can come in and play every single game next season. But, it's very, very hard to put that much pressure on somebody of that age. So, yeah. But just to round up that section, he is a left-footed centre-back. He has got Champions League experience. He has obviously played under Diego Simeone, and he can play at left-back. So when you add all of those things together, it sounds like an interesting deal to do. At first, I was a little bit unsure about the finances, but once I looked at what he was earning at Atletico and looked at how much he featured for Atletico last season, you can kind of justify those types of wages. He's just not a player we've been linked to before, and he's not somebody, if I'm completely honest, I'm that familiar with. So I was a little bit shocked to hear that he wanted nearly 200 grand a week. But when you think he's a free agent and when you think that we wouldn't have to pay a transfer fee, it kind of makes sense, because his value on the market, if he was not a free agent, is about 20 million euros. That's what the software that I have estimates his value at, around 20 million euros. So, if you look at it like that, you're effectively getting a 20 million euros player for free, and he wants to be kind of compensated in relation to his wages, which I guess makes sense. But 25 million euros, that's what my software says. So, yeah. But let me know your thoughts on that. If there's anybody who watches La Liga regularly, let me know your thoughts on Mario Hermoso. It does look like Manchester United are trying to sign him, and apparently it's a 3-year contract, and he wants around 6 million euros net per season, which is about 9 million euros before tax. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Apparently communication has been made between the player and Manchester United. So this is one that I think could happen quite quickly. But let me know your thoughts on that. I think that's everything I've got for this lunchtime video. So please make sure to smash a like before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. This has been Daily Red Devil. Have a lovely afternoon, everybody, and I will be back at 6 p.m. for a longer live show. Bye for now.